How would you like to watch me turn this into this just by adding some water? And I'll show you how. I'm Kevin, the Prepper Chef, and today I'm making chicken Florentine. Everything is from pretty much freeze-dried stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my pasta. Now you can use whatever you want. I use bow ties because when we get it from the store, that's what they have is the bow ties. So do 1 cup bow ties, and we put it on the bottom because all the powdered stuff can go through it later. I need a 1/2 cup of freeze-dried chicken. So I'm going to eyeball it with the 1 cup measuring cup. Alright. Now, as you can see that it's pretty much to the top now, so I tap it down a little bit. And remember, all the other powdered stuff shouldn't be a problem. Next, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of freeze-dried onion. Half a teaspoon of freeze-dried onion. Then after that, I add 1/2 teaspoon of butter, and this is powdered butter. So 1/2 teaspoon of powdered butter. Then I need 1 tablespoon of chicken broth, and I use the chicken broth flavor that you can use for soup or gravy, and this is actually pretty good stuff. I'm going to take 1 full tablespoon of that, add that to it. And then I'm going to take 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of freeze-dried milk. I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of sour cream, freeze-dried. Now, the recipe that I created this off of asked for cream, but since I don't have freeze-dried cream, I honestly don't even know if they make freeze-dried cream. I made a substitute with milk and sour cream. So 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, and then I need the same amount, so it's a 50-50 split of sour cream powder. And this is sour cream powder. And I bought all this stuff online. Well, actually I didn't buy all the stuff online. I bought most of the freeze-dried stuff online. The milk I got from my local grocery store. There's 1. There's 2. The Italian seasoning I got from, Walmart. The onions, minced onions I got from Fry's Supermarket. And oddly enough, the chicken broth I got from my local hardware store. Alright, so the only thing we have left is 1 tablespoon of spinach. And for that I'm using dehydrated spinach flakes. So I add a tablespoon spinach flakes. Alright, now I'm going to tap it all down and see how it just funnels down into the big gaps. Alright, now Time to put a lid on it. Alright, so I always write the directions on the lid so I know what I'm doing when I need to do it. So for this, I add 1.5 cups of water to a pot and boil. Then, when it's boiling, I add the jar, and then I let it simmer for 20 minutes or until the pasta is done. I write these out well beforehand. The handwriting is a whole lot better than it is here, but it is what it is. Now, I make sure to wipe this well on the edges so that the lid will seal, because if you don't, and I've had it happen plenty of times, the lid will not seal properly, and in a couple of days it will undo. So, now sometimes I make these in pints if it's only for 1 or 2 people. Sometimes I make them in quarts if I'm planning on feeding a family of 4 or so. This is pretty good stuff, and this is good to take if you need to go camping or just for a quick meal. Because what I have to do is boil water, put it in, let it sit for a while, mixing it on occasion, and just a good meal. Thank you for watching. Alright, to make this, I need 1.5 cups of boiling water, which clearly I have here. And I add the contents of this jar. You stir it up. And once it's stirred and everything looks like it's been moistened a little bit, I'm going to turn the heat down to a simmer. I'm going to cover it back up. I'm going to let it sit for I'm going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes, but I will be stirring it up every once in a while. As it starts out, I'll leave it uncovered so it doesn't boil over. But once it starts getting settled on simmer, I'm going to cover it back up and let it sit for about 20 minutes. I'll be stirring it occasionally. Alright, so it's been 20 minutes. And it looks like this now, which actually looks really good. I tested one of the bow ties and they were perfectly done. So I'm going to take it off the heat, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then it'll be ready to serve. I'm Kevin, the Prepper Chef. Thanks for watching.